We often think we must choose between our head and our heart. The mind tells us what is safe, it tells us what is logical, it reminds us of our promises and our plans for the future. The heart, however, sings a different song. It is a song of passion, of desire, of the electric spark we feel when someone new enters our life. This conflict is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of being human. We live with this tension every day. We are creatures of logic, but we are also creatures of deep, unspoken emotions. Finding a balance is the true work of any relationship. If we only listen to our mind, our relationships can become dry and predictable. They can feel more like a contract than a connection. We might stay with someone because it makes sense on paper, but we lose the joy and the mystery that makes love so compelling. On the other hand, if we only follow our heart, we can create chaos. We might chase fleeting feelings and hurt the people we have built a life with. The challenge is to let the mind and heart talk to each other, to find a way for them to coexist. This internal conversation is where real intimacy is born. It is about asking difficult questions. Can I love my partner and still feel attracted to someone else? Does a moment of desire erase years of shared history and commitment? The answer is never simple. It requires honesty with ourselves before we can be honest with anyone else. We must acknowledge all parts of who we are, the responsible partner and the curious individual. It is in this space of acceptance that we can make choices that are both wise and true to our deepest selves. Think of it like a dance. Sometimes the mind leads, guiding us with careful, measured steps. It ensures we do not stumble or fall. Other times the heart takes over, moving with a rhythm that is wild and spontaneous. A healthy relationship allows for both kinds of movements. It is not about one partner leading all the time. It is about learning to switch leaders gracefully. It is about understanding that sometimes we need structure and security, and other times we need freedom and excitement. This is the delicate dance of modern love. The conversation around monogamy is changing. For centuries, it was presented as the only acceptable way to build a life with someone. It promised security, stability, and a clear path forward. For many people, this model works beautifully. It provides a deep sense of belonging and a unique bond that is shared with only one other person. The commitment to be exclusive can be a powerful expression of love and devotion. It creates a private world for two people, a sanctuary, from the complexities of the outside world. But we must also acknowledge that monogamy is not the only story. The rise of consensual non-monogamy and polyamory invites us to ask new questions. Is it possible to love more than one person at a time? Can we have multiple meaningful connections without devaluing any of them? These are not easy questions, and the answers are different for everyone. For some, the idea of an open relationship is liberating. It allows them to explore different parts of themselves with different people. It can bring a new level of honesty and communication into their lives. The choice between monogamy and polygamy is deeply personal. It is not about which one is better, but which one is right for the individuals involved. Both paths require immense trust, communication, and respect. In a monogamous relationship, the trust is in the exclusivity. In a polyamorous relationship, the trust is in the honesty and the commitment to honor all agreements. Both systems can be filled with love, and both can be filled with heartbreak. The structure itself does not guarantee happiness. The quality of the relationships within that structure is what matters. Ultimately, this is a discussion about desire. We are all beings of desire. We want to be wanted. We want to feel alive. Monogamy channels that desire towards one person. Polyamory allows that desire to flow in multiple directions. The key is to be intentional. Are we choosing a path because it is what we truly want, or because it is what we think we should want? Are we being honest with our partners about our needs and our limits? The structure is less important than the integrity with which we live within it. Boundaries are the invisible lines we draw around ourselves. They tell others where we begin and where they end. In relationships, these lines are not walls to keep people out. They are gates that we can choose to open. Healthy boundaries protect our sense of self. They ensure that we do not get lost inside a relationship. They allow us to say no when we need to, and to ask for what we need without guilt. Without boundaries, love can become confusing and overwhelming. We might start to feel responsible for our partner's happiness, or lose our own identity in the process of pleasing them. Setting boundaries is an act of self-love that benefits the relationship. It starts with self-awareness. We must first understand our own limits. What makes us feel uncomfortable? What are our non-negotiables? This might be the need for personal time, the privacy of our conversations with friends, or our financial independence. Communicating these boundaries clearly and kindly is the next step. It is not an accusation or a demand, it is simply a statement of what we need to feel safe and respected in the partnership. When a partner respects our boundaries, it builds trust. It shows that they see us as a separate individual, not just as an extension of themselves. It says, I love you, and I also respect the person you are outside of this relationship. Conversely, when boundaries are repeatedly ignored or challenged, it is a major red flag. This can lead to resentment, anger, and a breakdown of the connection. A relationship without boundaries is like a house without doors or windows. There is no privacy, no safety, and no sense of personal space. Remember, boundaries are not static. They can change as we grow and as the relationship evolves. What felt comfortable at the beginning might not feel comfortable 5 years later. This is why ongoing communication is so important. We need to have regular check-ins with our partners. How are we doing with this? Does this still work for you? This conversation keeps the relationship dynamic and healthy. It ensures that both people feel seen, heard, and honored. Boundaries are not about limiting love, they are about creating the safe space in which love can truly flourish. When a significant relationship ends, it can feel like a part of us has been lost. We are not just mourning the person, we are mourning the future we imagined with them. The process of moving on is not about forgetting. It is not about erasing the memories or pretending the love never existed. It is about integrating the experience into our life story. We do not get over a great love. We learn to carry it differently. The goal is to let the pain of the ending soften into a memory that no longer controls our present. One of the first steps is to allow yourself to feel the full spectrum of emotions. There will be sadness, anger, confusion, and maybe even relief. Trying to suppress these feelings will only prolong the healing process. Give yourself permission to grieve. Talk to friends, write in a journal, or seek professional help. Creating a ritual can also be powerful. This could be writing a letter to your ex that you never send, or packing away items that remind you of the relationship. These actions create a symbolic separation between the past and the present. Reconnecting with yourself is crucial. Often in a relationship, our identity becomes intertwined with our partners. The end of a relationship is an opportunity to rediscover who you are on your own. What are your passions? What brings you joy? Re-engage with old hobbies or try something new. Spend time with friends and family who remind you of who you are outside of that one romantic connection. This process rebuilds your sense of self and reminds you that your life is whole and complete, even without that person in it. Finally, be careful with the stories you tell yourself about the breakup. It is easy to fall into a narrative of blame, either blaming yourself or your ex. A more helpful story is one of compassion and learning. What did this relationship teach you? How have you grown because of it? Shifting the narrative from one of failure to one of experience allows you to move forward with wisdom instead of bitterness. It honors the love that was shared while also creating space for new love to enter your life when you are ready.